This morning, we're gathering more details after a deadly shooting at a recording studio in southwest Atlanta. We'll have the latest on the investigation. Plus, a former Gwinnett County teacher is behind bars this morning accused of having improper relationships with two students. And Atlanta Public Schools passes a budget aimed at helping students and schools in the district. How officials say it will help everyone recover from the infamous APS cheating scandal. Good morning, I'm Chris Hopper. Thank you for joining us on 11 Alive News. Two people are dead this morning after Atlanta police say gunfire erupted at a recording studio. This happened at Metropolitan Parkway and Bronner Brothers Way in southwest Atlanta last night. Police say two men were killed, both believed to be in their 20s. Investigators say a number of people were detained and taken to police headquarters for questioning. They also tell us that several firearms were recovered from the scene. A witness described the chaotic moments just after the shooting.
We just heard like some gunshots, and we seen like two dudes running. We don't know what's going on, so we just wish people would just stop the violence and, just get along and just, make music.
Police say power had to be shut off to the building after a water main was damaged during the shooting. Meanwhile, the victims' identities are not yet known. We're following a developing story out of Oconee County this morning, where officials say a deputy shot a man Wednesday night. He's accused of confronting the deputies with a gun. Investigators say they were responding to a domestic disturbance on Dials Mill Spur, where a woman had been assaulted. The man was taken to the hospital, but his condition isn't known at this hour. The GBI is still investigating. We're holding the powerful accountable this morning about why a Gwinnett County teacher investigated for inappropriate contact with an underage girl at his high school 3 years ago was allowed to stay on the job. Now the teacher is in jail accused of molesting the girl and having sex with another. John Sherrick has more.
The teacher, who is in jail, is accused of molesting two girls at his school in separate incidents, according to investigators, both girls younger than 16. Michael Applebaum, in his first...
Atlanta Public Schools passed a tentative budget Wednesday night with millions of dollars going toward helping thousands of students rebound from the infamous cheating scandal. The district estimates 3,000 students are still suffering academically because of that cheating scandal. Last year, the district began putting a total of $9 million into helping those students, and another $23 million will go to the schools that suffered as well. APS superintendents defend the $743 million budget Wednesday, saying it cuts some of the school system's fat while increasing money for instruction.
We had schools in this school system where 4 kids were reading on grade level by the 4th grade. 7 kids were reading on grade level by the 4th grade, and 8 kids are reading. That's just not going to stand. It's not okay, and we're going to do everything in our power to move as quickly as we can, to move with a sense of urgency.
To help accelerate the turnaround, APS has brought in several nonprofits to help run the schools that are in the most trouble. There are now 21 qualified jurors in the Ross Harris murder trial. He's the Cobb County father accused of killing his son by intentionally leaving him in a hot car. Among the potential jurors questioned Wednesday, a former NFL player and a woman currently working as a paralegal. The defense argued her opinions about the case differed from her questionnaire and what she said in court when asked about being impartial.
It certainly is more than just a little bit curious how we go from absolute knowledge of guilt to no opinion whatsoever.
It's illogical.
Another potential juror said her only issue would be if Harris were to be executed, but the fact that this is not a death penalty case made that a little bit confusing.
That teaches us that the process is working. There are people out there like this juror who have very, very strong feelings, and this process is designed to make sure that people like that don't get onto the jury so that the defendant can have a fair trial.
Once opening statements begin, count on 11 Alive for gavel-to-gavel coverage. We'll stream live on 11alive.com with Atlanta Alive anchor and former prosecutor Vinnie Politan, who will bring you in-depth analysis of the entire trial. The Fulton County DA is considering more serious charges against the driver accused in the death of a 9-year-old boy. Ryan Lisabeth is accused of driving under the influence and plowing into 3 children, killing 1. Currently, the most serious charge he faces is vehicular homicide in the 1st degree, punishable by 3 to 15 years in prison. Meantime, a vigil was held for the child who died after being hit on the sidewalk.
I want y'all to see my sister's face. She can't even talk. She's torn. She can't talk. She can't function. This is what he did to our family.
Fulton County's DA, Paul Howard, did not say what the more serious charge against Elizabeth would be or whether it would be murder. If so, he would have to prove some sort of intent. We're still awaiting an update this morning on the condition of a teenage boy hit by a driver while riding his bicycle. It happened on Roswell Road near Old Canton Road Wednesday evening. Authorities tell us the 13-year-old boy suffered chest trauma and was taken by helicopter to the hospital. No word yet if the driver will face any charges. Both the Atlanta Braves and Turner Field face a lawsuit months after a longtime season ticket holder fell to his death at the stadium. You may remember Greg Murray fell about 50 feet during a game last August. His family says he'd still be alive if there were taller guardrails at the ballpark. In a 34-page lawsuit, Murray's family says the Braves knew the railing was dangerously short but made no changes. The family calls for higher railings and an unspecified amount of money. The Braves had not commented on the lawsuit, but after Murray's death last year, the team said they'd been working with architects to improve safety. Later this morning, attorneys are expected to announce substantial settlements in a deadly crash that killed 5 young nursing students. Friday marks a year since the I-16 collision near Savannah. 5 Georgia Southern University students were killed when a tractor trailer ran into the back of their vehicles. 3 wrongful death lawsuits were filed, including one on behalf of 20-year-old Emily Clark of Powder Springs. Officials with Total Transportation admitted that the semi-driver did not meet hiring criteria because of a previous accident where he fell asleep at the wheel. Also today, a candlelight vigil is set to honor the Walmart security guard killed while trying to stop an alleged shoplifter. The vigil is set for 6 o'clock and will be held outside the Lilburn store where J.D. Ferguson was shot and killed last week. His accused killer is being held without bond. All hail the Queen. We'll take a walk down memory lane with Queen Elizabeth as she turns 90 years old today after the break.